You guys ready? I have
Oh my
2,
God.
3, 4, 5, 6,
You got
7.
105?
I have
Exactly.
7. All
You
right.
better rapid fire those.
All right, so we got Sisters Grimm. Live action series, preferably on Apple Plus, because that's where the care is.
I always imagined it animated.
I have other stuff that's animated. I want to go live action with this because I think it would be a much better story than anything we've seen in fairy tale storytelling, like in terms of live action
Like
interpretation.
retelling?
Like in terms of like I think of Once Upon a Time on ABC.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time.
Not a good.
Kinda like
It's basically the same.
thing.
It's kind of the same thing, which really sucks because that show didn't do at all justice to the concept of it, where everybody from the fairy tale books is real and they're living in this town.
and they're trapped in the town. Yeah, that's the thing.
And it gives a great explanation. The sisters are awesome. You can just write the scripts as
funny.
is. You can write the scripts as is the book is, and just focus on the sisters' relationship and them like with what's his name, Puck or Huck, the fairy boy that helps him out.
I think it's Puck.
Yeah, Puck, and just go through this and just awesome, wonderful adventure for
Do you got actors?
the whole family. I don't have any actors. I'm just doing concept. Okay, next is Artemis Fowl. And the concept is is how I do this in the form of DC animated films. So you have all these DC animated films that came out.
Like the good ones?
No. We're talking about the DC animated films in terms of like, oh, here's this one based off this comic. Here's one that's based off the Superman thing. Like I think of Superman and
Doomsday?
Superman and the One, I think is what it's called. I can't remember if it's the One or not. But anyway, it's that style where you get all these DC animated films. That way you keep the budget low, but you keep the concepts high because you have all the fairy tales.
It like looks like some of the better ones, right?
It looks some of the better ones. Yeah, I wouldn't put it
have you seen those?
I haven't. I've seen a couple, and I have one that's actually pretty good.
So like you go to Walmart and they come out with the covers.
Yeah,
and the covers are like by
They're all
the best
straight to
comic
DVD,
book
by
artists
the
of
way,
all time.
but I feel like
and then you stick in the movie and everything's like flat.
But I feel like you can actually like. I feel like you can do a lot with this in the concept of Artemis Fowl. So let me see.
I feel like that fits.
I feel like that would fit pretty well. So it's called Superman versus the Elite is the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay.
And it's a really cool comic.
I didn't see that.
A really good adaptation of it. But that's what we do with Artemis Fowl. Next, of course, it's the one that everybody's thinking of. It's Redwall. You would do animated,
it's long overdue,
animated series, kind of like the one we grew up watching, animated series based off one season per book, and just go from there. And that's all you got to do.
What kind of animation are you talking?
I'm thinking 2D.
Okay. Can I comment? I imagined always stop motion.
I think will probably cut down the cost and do 3D, but I would love to do 2D.
But please don't make it look like the Watership Down series. That was really bad 3D. Did you
it's
on Netflix. You can go onto YouTube and look up go to Westball's YouTube channel, and he has the test footage for Mouse Guard.
He was
because Mouse Guard is a graphic novel.
Really?
It's a graphic novel, but the whole movie was motion capture, and they had Andy Serkis working with him.
Yep.
That's how he got to know Andy Serkis before he did Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, so he was going to do.
Holy moly!
Yeah,
I have not seen that.
But
the whole test footage is on there.
Yeah, so
they have a trailer version of it with music and score, and then they have a silent version where you can hear the sound effects of like the swords and stuff.
I remember when this was coming out. It was right after Death Cure, the third Maze Runner movie came out. He was attached to that. They had Gary Whitta writing the script, who was a great writer, and I didn't know they had any circus attached. That's really interesting. Yeah. And
that's
it kind of got completely canceled. They kind of had to cancel it. And
that's because it was under Fox before Disney.
Yeah, that's right. It was one of the Fox movies that got canceled. So I would do that with Redwall. Sweet. Oh, the places you'll go live action film. I was reading this book when we were doing the Dr. Seuss books, and I gotta say, like, it's awesome. And I would love to get a live action interpretation of this book, like, even if it's word for word narrated
I'm having trouble imagining
narrated by Lupita Nyong'o or something. I don't know, but like you follow this little boy, follow this little boy through all these wacky adventures. He gets a friend. It's almost as if like Happy Birthday to You, which I think might have been a better choice, but I'll go with all the places you'll go live action film. I think that'd be awesome.
Jake, what if they did it like the Green Eggs and Ham series?
No.
Have you seen that?
Because I feel like you could interpret that. I feel like this needs to be one condensed thing. I wouldn't turn it into a series. I think it's just a oneer.
Just a movie.
Kind of like a lot of Dr. Seuss books. It's just a
oneer.
2D
animation?
Well, I think that's why I was going to go with that or Scrambled Egg Super. But I think other places you'll go.
Can't do Scrambled Egg Super because that's too racist.
Yeah.
That's true. It's part of the SS tier. So I'll do all the places you'll go live action
Oh my
films.
gosh. Really quick. Do you guys know how frustrated I was whenever you guys said super spicy book? on
No,
that podcast?
no, we're not going to get into this. We
I
know
was so-
what you're
We
talking
know
about.
exactly what
There
you're
are
talking
more-
about.
There are more definitions of spicy on the internet than what you're thinking of.
I didn't think about that when they said it. Well, that's because in the book community, when you say spicy, you know what it means. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, are there really Dr. Seuss books out
What
there?
is the tell us what the book community is?
Yes,
I
tell
really
us
want to
safe for
know.
work. What's what the
Is
book
it safe for
community
work?
is, Adley.
Please tell me it's safe for work. Spice is rated on level of
Spice.
chili pepper. And if it has little one chili pepper, it's got one sex scene. If it's got 5 chili peppers, it's a smut book.
Okay.
This sounds like I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm going to anyway.
Do it.
This sounds like the autistic book community.
Chelsea, is there a spicy ranking among the anime community?
No.
Every anime is spicy.
Yeah. See?
I love how we have Adelaide's book perspective.
If you're ever worried about that, just look at the tags.
I love how
That's
we
all you
have
gotta do. Just
Adelaide's
look at the tags,
book
and then you're good.
perspective in the book community, Chelsea's perspective in the anime community, and me and David's involvement in the autistic community. So this is
I was just curious when you said the book community because
the book community.
I grew up being a very avid reader. I've never heard of a book community.
So she means the TikTok book community. Okay?
Oh.
So
No,
yes,
it's
I
not
was
just
right on.
TikTok,
I was right on. It is autistic.
Oh my god! I didn't know. Okay, Jake, you can continue now.
Okay,
I just
so
wanted to say
I'm
that.
gonna switch it up a little bit and go with a movie that was based off the life of Sam Walton, who created Walmart. I've read his biography. Really cool, really savvy businessman. Just a cool, awesome.
I went to Walmart today.
Comfy looking grandpa figure guy, and he just the book about his autobiography is really, really great. And he's just a normal dude, and with some savvy business practices. And like he created Walmart and made it what it was. And then he got kicked out of the company. It's really interesting to see. I would love to see.
That's
like
what would be it. Yeah.
Will Ferrell or somebody play him. I don't know.
Will Ferrell,
like
Will
somebody
Ferrell.
who's really maybe not him.
Well, I mean, they had what's his name, Michael Keaton playing Ray Kroc or whatever.
Oh
in
yeah,
that one
yeah.
movie.
So somebody
so
like
why not?
So I would take that concept and put it into the Sam Walton kind of aspect. Moving on, I unfortunately have only like young adult or young kids books listed. So yeah, we had Redwall, Artemis Fowl, Citrus Graham.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm jumping into Vampire Plagues. I love this book so much.
Gosh.
A live action movie
forgot all
trilogy.
about that.
There is so much good that can come from
in
this
the
book
style
series.
of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Absolutely. Give me Gore Verbinski.
It's-
horror.
Yeah.
With these kids running around in London in the 1850s.
There's like really defined shadows on everything.
Defined shadows on it. Oh my god.
I'm
it'd
thinking
be
of,
freaking
I'm thinking
awesome.
of Vampirates.
Oh, not Vampirates. No,
I'm
no,
thinking
no.
of Vampire
No.
Plagues.
Give me Gore
Gore Verbinski
Verbinski
can do that one too.
doing Vampire Plagues. It's about this.
So good.
It's about this
never read
pirateering group, or no?
It's about a group of
His
kids.
Majesty. It's about a group of kids. His Majesty's ships go to South Africa, anger a certain god that is the god of bats in Aztec culture or Mayan culture or whatever.
In South
It
Africa.
turns
It's not in Africa.
No, I said in South America.
It's
Sorry.
Mexico. Because the third
in
book is Mexico.
So like in Mexico, that's where it takes place.
The
and then,
first
like,
book is London, the second book is France, and the
first
third
book
book
is
is
London.
Mexico.
So you get this kid meeting this other kid. He's like, oh my god, I just lived.
He just came
through
off the ship
He just
that's
came off the
carrying
ship
the plague.
that carried the vampire bats that infected all the guys on the ship and killed them all.
And then they just go loose.
And they just go loose in London. And now you have this whole vampire adventure with these three kids.
It takes like
It's
all
really
the
good.
folklore of like vampire symptoms
Yep,
and
all the
like
folklore.
oh no, here this is how you turn into a vampire. Oh well no, but it changes it into more of like what it might be in the actual people or like who are in those regions where the lore comes from.
Yeah.
So in this case, it was like, so you got London, which is traditional like vampire Dracula.
man.
Then you go to France, and that's a whole other
There's a
story
whole
where you
nother,
got
like,
they're more
culture there.
gargoyle like. They
More
got gargoyle.
gargoyle-like.
They're like stone bodies.
It's really cool.
and they're more monstrous. And then you get into
Mexico, which is the third book.
where
And
you get a
it's
little
so
little bit of
whacked up,
environmental
dude.
horror going on
Dude, it's
there.
so messed up and awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
Give
Now I
me
wanna
Gore
read it, too.
Verbinski or somebody like that to give me
It's a middle grade series.
It's a middle grade series, but it's freaking creepy.
It's scary.
And it's violent
yeah.
too. So give me that and give it to me in live action form, a whole trilogy of this books. And if you want, there's the sequel series, but I think those 3 books are just
just
super
the 3.
great. Just the super great. And then the last thing I'll finally say for my hopeful adaptations is give me a duology of the 2 books in the Hangman Curse series.
Oh.
I know we've already had an adaptation of We've already had an adaptation of Hangman's Curse.
Right.
It was not that great. It was a weird, dumb movie.
It was a great movie to put on when there was a group around and people just pointing at it and just like, what is
And then you're like, what the heck is that?
What are we watching?
It makes no sense. It's not a good adaptation of the original book. The original book's really cool.
Would you have Frank Peretti playing it again? No.
Is he in the original? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's like the quirky goofy scientist.
Oh my gosh.
Or whatever.
I'll have him be a teacher of some class. That's what I would do.
No. Just have him walk by and go, hey,
basically,
kids.
the concept of this is, and it's awesome. It's this family unit, a mom, dad, and a son and a daughter, and they go around and they investigate different supernatural reports from an organization they work for. So imagine like The Incredibles. It's this family with superheroes, but instead of superpowers, they work for like this agency that tracks down spiritual phenomena. And then they go into this high school, and that's where you get into the whole Hangman's Curse thing. And they have to move to this town. It's kind of like undercover, so they have to fit in. The organization puts them in this house. They have to, become. Let me finish. It's the concept. It's so cool. So like the family has to adapt to each situation they're in. So in the first book, you're in this high school in this small town. Spiritual phenomena is happening. So they have to buy a house. The organization puts them in this house. They move in there. The kids go to high school, and they're in on it with the parents and figuring out the spiritual phenomena and collecting information. And it's a whole detective kind of series. Really cool stuff.
So, they think that somebody is murdering students.
Yeah, they think somebody's murdering. It turns out it's something else. And it has so many cool spiritual parallels to biblical stuff, and it's really, really awesome. And then you get into like the second one, which is a Nightmare Academy, which is about this messed up government experimented university.
I need to read it.
It's really messed up.
I didn't read that one.
And it's really creepy. I would just do it. I would just do it as a duology. I started it
and I couldn't get into the second one.
I would just do it as a duology. Just have those 2 films there. You can put them on Netflix. I don't care. But treat it like a family. Like, you don't have to make it a family film, but the concept of this family who's like investigating this stuff and is like really good at it is kind of cool to me. And I would love to see something like
a family solving mysteries thing.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Kind of like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Something we thought
found another dead high school student, Scooby.